So this is the cottage and fresh fruit plate. Cottage cheese and fresh fruit plate. Alright, so Jerry's having the full English breakfast. Bangers, ham, tomato, I don't know what's on the tomato. Beans, fried toast, fried eggs. Fried bread, sorry. And I'm having the Belgian waffles with an English pork banger. So today we stop in Belize. Hopefully I get a little footage. Have not been a good videographer except in the dining rooms. Let's see, we can get there at 9. All aboard at 6:30, so it's a long day. Next we're going to go to Costa Maya. I think we're anchored. We're going to go to Belize. That's not Belize there. I think it's on the other side of the ship. It's really pretty. And there's another ship there. I think it's the Carnival something. I can't really read it from here. I could get the binoculars. So we anchor here and we take tenders into what is called the tourism village of Belize, and then we actually have a tour, and they suggest that you stay with your tour or stay in a tourism village and not go out into Belize City alone. I don't know why. They didn't say. Okay, the port at Belize. Okay, this is just as you walk into the tourist village. Shopping in restaurants. It smells lots of food. Today's a tough day though. I'm not going to be on the other side of the camera because we lost Eddie. Just trying to maintain. Hair braiding. Like a knockoff of Starbucks. Look at the drink cups and the color and everything, but it has a lighthouse instead of the Starbucks logo. Beautiful palm tree. And then this guy is coming up to our thing, selling handmade items while we're waiting on the train to start our... Oh yeah, look at the coconuts in that one.
Yeah. Right? It's not just about safety for each and every one of us. And while we're driving, we'll be pointing out certain things to each and every one of you on board the train. One of the first things that we will be pointing out. And please keep in mind that all hands and feet should be inside of the trolleys at all times, all right? We do not want to bring back 99 point anything, okay? So just keep that in mind also. And for those of you that have your cameras out, take a look over here on the passenger side. The passenger side is always going to be the passenger side. The driver's side is always going to be the driver's side. And we have the second Belize sign that was erected here within the entire country of Belize. And all of these signs were actually done by locals, like by local popular with tourists and locals alike. Alright, so take a photograph of it. Guess what? We'll be making a stop here. This is not the end of the tour. This is just where you have to get a better chance to meet the people that you are stuck with for the next hour on board the train. Alright, and is actually rested. He's considered to be Belize's greatest benefactor. He donated over 1 million. Everything. If you have a chance to come here, you go there and you ask for Kendrick. That's the name of the bartender. And if Tony sent you, and maybe you get something extra. Alright? But this one actually belongs to Belize's most pristine. That's right. Back in the old days, thing that is associated with the military, I would like to say enough respect and a lot of love and kudos go to you, all family members, veterans, and so forth, because most of these wooden structures around here were actually owned by one person. And if you take a look over here on the driver's side, you notice this yellow and white structure? That is actually one of Belize, that was owned by one of Belize's first millionaire, and he used to make his fortune by exporting chewing gum out of the country, known as chicle, or for many people they call it chiclets. How many of you remember chiclets? Today we no longer export chewing gum sap in abundance, and the gum that we're using, that we're chewing today, honestly speaking, is actually petroleum based. Belize, ladies and gents. And did you know that the country of Belize has a population of about 400,000 people? Entire country. Yeah, that is a big, most other trains cannot do. You know that most other trains in the world cannot do this, right? And what are we doing? This is a 360. Only on the Calypso train do you get to do a 360. And these cannons are responsible for me and many of my fellow Belizeans speaking English today, ladies and gents. Oh, by the way, can I hear a little whoop for the driver? Woohoo! That's right, that is skills, ladies and gents. We say lawyer, we say liar. Offense to no one. But that is Creole, ladies and gents, and everyone speaks Creole. And most Belizeans, about 80 to 85% of the country of Belize, can also speak Spanish because it is also taught in school as a second language. All Belizeans speak Creole because that in Belize and Mexico, we do a lot of exchange students also. If you all should take a look over here on the driver, most Americans, they would call it soccer. Imagine if you take the ER of soccer, what do you get? Soccer. Soccer. You don't want to say that word, am I right? Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, alright? But guess what we call casinos in Belize? Donation centers. Did you know that this is the first casino ever to be legalized here in the country of Belize in the year of 2000? So for 21 years, this casino has been running. And honestly speaking, there's actually 2 casinos out here along here. And a lot of the discotheques and a lot of the nice restaurants. So because of the pandemic, most services limited is the park facility. Take a look at the beautiful park facility and the beautiful view that they if you notice these people that are waving at you, please wave back because none of them are paid actors, alright? We're just grateful for you all being here because the tourism, the cruise ship tourism is actually supporting a lot of the local people right now. It's supporting the economy, period. Alright, so thank you guys once again. So you see how big or how grateful we are. You know what they would refer to it as? Lindbergh Landing. Yeah, Lindbergh Landing Park. You want to know why? Charles Lindbergh made history here in the country of Belize when he landed the Spirit of St. Louis out here back in the year of 1926. And if you take a look over here on the passenger side, you can see a small replica of the Spirit of St. Louis. You all want to know what is the big question right now in regards to the history of the Spirit of St. Louis? Did Charles Lindbergh landed the plane to visit a friend, or did he run low on fuel? Yeah, no one knows the answer to that, alright? This is called the Kings Park neighborhood. This is the first residential area ever designed within the city of Belize. The original owners of these properties actually got them for free because they had to assign a different city, am I right? Now take a look over here on the driver's side. Look at this house that is painted the color of Pepto-Bismol. Have you all seen that? Yeah. How many of you would paint your homes the color of Pepto-Bismol? No, right? And you know why these guys can do that? Because they don't have no homeowners association. You build and paint whatever you want. But you notice the vibrant colors that these homes are painted? It also matches the atmosphere. It gives these homes personality, and it gives you an idea pretty much of the type of people that lives there in a sense. Because look at these nice vibrant colors. Like, and not only that, within this neighborhood, do you know that we could find one of our previous Prime Minister house? You see this white fence over here on the driver's side? This is actually the home of one of our previous Prime Minister, and he's known as the Right Honorable son of 2 that operates here within the country of Belize. This company was formerly known as Cable and Wireless, an old English company that has now become BTL, Digicel, and that standards, so we could have international competitions here in the country of Belize. So, and again, yes, we're a slow developing country, but perfection, see a lot of the schools that can be found pretty much on one street. Coming up, the first school is that of the St. John's College, right over here on the passenger side. And this is one of the first schools that offered a junior college. And the junior college is co-ed. Uniform is not mandatory at any junior colleges within the country of Belize. But also, on this compound is where you can also find the only you could tell that this is a church state school. And uniform helps to eliminate competitions between students. It helps on the parents' budget. And it lets these kids realize that they're not just only representing
For your weather forecast here.
one of his patients, alright? But nevertheless, this is how we honor him by building this hospital in his name. Ladies and gents, this is the largest public hospital, and because of the pandemic, they do have certain restrictions in place, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the safety for all. We could drive all the way to the United States of America. Yeah, from the country of Belize. Belize is not an island. We're bordered north by Mexico, west and south by Guatemala. And yes, from right here, you could drive all the way to the United States of America and beyond. As a matter of fact, most of the vehicles that have been driven, that you see driving around right now, ladies and gents, are actually recycled vehicles from the US. Yeah, we recycle your old damaged vehicles, like you see in some parts of the US where it is being flooded right now. Most of these flooded vehicles will actually make their way to the country of Belize, and we refurbish or we rebuild them in some sort of manner, and we utilize them. So if you see a vehicle, attendants working, most of you where you are from, you don't have gas attendants, am I right? Here we do have gas attendants, ladies and gents, and honestly speaking, the price of fuel impacts the cost of living in the country of Belize. You want to know why? Because in our country, we import at least 80% of the things that we use daily. Clothing, bath and beauty products, and a lot of the other essential stuff that we use on a daily basis, ladies and gents. So the price of fuel impacts the cost of living. But then again, when you look out on the outside, ice cold Coca-Cola. Yes. Oh, can I ask you? Can I ask you a quick question? By the raise of hands, how many of you prefer drinking Pepsi? At the back, Coca-Cola, Fanta, and Sprite. We do not buy and so forth, ladies and gents. And all of their furnitures are actually made here by hand, by the local wood. They get the wood and so forth. Yeah. So again, these are and if you notice the furnitures, they're very nicely made and so forth. And within most Belizeans' home, ladies and gents, we do have furnitures that are made by the Mennonites, because it is in a sense a part of our culture. Now, in the country of Belize, in the city of Belize, the street that we're presently on is actually known as North Front Street. You notice that tall tree that is towering over the roofs? That is a mahogany tree right there. That is the national tree of Belize. That tree right there over the roof, that is a mahogany tree. And that is actually what brought the English them to settle here within our country for the harvesting of mahogany lumber. I have actually seen a mahogany tree that it took at least 5 to 6 of us holding hands to go around it. And trees of that magnitude is protected by law in our country. Coming up over here on the driver's side, we're passing one of the oldest Roman Catholic schools here in the country of Belize. Yeah, this is one of the oldest Roman Catholic schools built here within the country of Belize, ladies and gents. And this is none other than the Holy Redeemer Roman Catholic School. And honestly speaking, do you see these two buildings right here at the front? These are made from red bricks. And remember what I said, most of these schools are operated church-state system. So as soon as we cross over the canal bridge, you'll be seeing the Holy Redeemer Roman Catholic Cathedral from the 1850s. And the cathedral is made from red bricks, ladies and gents, okay? And the church pretty much owns this entire compound. Now, ladies and gents, one of the many highlights of the Calypso train tours is what you all are about to cross over right now, and that is none other than the Belize City Swing Bridge. The only manual swing bridge of its kind that still can be found within Central America. Have your cameras out because you are about to do something unbelievable. You want to know why? Most other vehicles cannot pass over this bridge except for the Calypso train because this bridge is a very historical bridge and it is only offered to our company. Yep. Did you all see a ship out there in the distance? Okay, probably it's gone then. Just kidding. Your ship is right there in the back of the video. You don't get a chance to see that. Alright? Ladies and gents, welcome to that is the second highest court. And over here on the driver's side, the large yellow and white building, this is actually the oldest supermarket in the entire country of Belize, known as hundreds, ladies and gents. Now, out there, if you look left, if you look right, have you been noticing that you've been seeing a lot of banks within this neighborhood? Yeah, there's actually like 4 banks all operating right close to which towards with each other. Like, take a look, we have the Belize Bank, driver's side. Street over here on the passenger side, this is the Wesley Methodist Church compound. Notice that? Episcopalian Cathedral, ladies and gents, built all by red bricks, and truth be told, 3 kings from off the Mosquito Coast of Nicaragua were actually ordained at this cathedral also. No other cathedrals within this hemisphere can boast that, except for this cathedral right here. Alright? Yeah. And most of these neighborhoods right here, ladies and gents, are among some of the oldest neighborhoods that can be found here within the country, within the city of Belize, and a lot of laws mentioned. Most of the laws that we're practicing today were signed into law right here, ladies and gents, from way back as the early 1800s. That's right. And we still have a Governor General that represents the crown within the country of Belize. Today, in Cathedral James Street. And when this street was originally first built, it was known as Front Street. So this is where Belize City basically got started from here, and Belize City slowly made its way more inland. To say, many of them need some type of renovation and preservation, but the owners don't have the money, and many of them, some of the owners, they would like to sell them. So yeah, because they cannot afford to maintain them. Over on the passenger side, you could see the coastline right there, ladies and gents. And again, all of this area got developed because of the mahogany industry, dating all the way back to the 1700s. You know, to show the entire tour, this is the only neighborhood that you saw a lot of brick structure. Like, take for example, right here on the driver's side. This is an accounting firm. Notice how they have actually adapted the brick and the wood together, all right? And coming up shortly, bricks. Yes, that was once a slave quarters. And ladies and gents, within this neighborhood, if you look across the street, across the park, you see that cream building? About the sailboats that you're seeing. These sailboats that you see out here are not recreational boats. These sailboats are actually working fishing vessels that goes out there to harvest the seafood, but they use the wind power, so they use less fuel, and also it helps to save the environment. And this is something that we have been doing not just yesterday, not just the day before, but from ever since, ladies and gents. Alright? So now we're back over across the bridge, north side of Belize City. We're heading back over towards the port facility, ladies and gents.
How you serve the Coke in Belize. Our lunch in Belize: papaya, plantain, rice, kind of hot sauce, beans, and fried shrimp, which I already have one in my mouth. Yummy. Got my Belize stamp. They apparently don't date them. It's all done by computer anymore. These are just, you know, complimentary souvenirs. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock, which means it's tea time. So, more food and tea and pretty plates. And not a lot of people in the dining room for tea today. I think everybody's at port. We came home early. It was hot. Alright, so this I'm zooming in. Hopefully this will be okay. It's pretty humid, so that is an island that they are building to use as a cruise port. We are 5 miles away from Belize because the water's shallow. There's a second biggest barrier reef in the world around here. So cruise ships cannot come into the actual ports, and they are building this cruise terminal out here, a cruise port. You can even see like buildings with thatched roofs and stuff. And it will hold 4 cruise ships. Yeah, it is really warm, and it's like 5 o'clock at night. Sun's going down. I think it's 5 o'clock at night. Anyway, sun's going down. It's warm. The water's beautiful blue. Don't you love those water shots? So we have to go to dinner. Been a rough day with Eddie's passing, but